You are golden, you are good enough, like your fire from within. You're inspired, you inspire us, it's gonna be all good again.
Hello and welcome to the Roar Indie Author Interview Series. I'm your host, Brianna. These podcasts are brought to you by iFrig Publishing and the Mama Is Not a Podcast. Today's guest is Alva Sachs. She's a children's author, and she's going to tell us about her books that are part of Roar. Welcome, Alva. Thank you so much for being here. Why did you want to be a writer?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I'd like to thank Penny for giving me this opportunity. I've been doing writing for a while, since 2007, and I have 7 award-winning picture books.
That's
I'm an
awesome.
award-winning children's author. And why did I want to do this? Was that your question?
Yes.
Well, I was a teacher for 16 years. I have a master's in education. I'm president of Reading is Fundamental, Southern California. So somewhere it says, read, 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 read. If you read, you can succeed. And so my commitment to children and reading has been a large part of my life. As an adult, I never wanted to be a teacher at all. But when I started teaching, I found my path and nobody told me about it.
It's funny how that works out, right? You go down
Yeah.
a path and then suddenly a door opens. You're like, oh, I'll go that way.
Exactly. I took the fork in the road.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So you started as a teacher and then fell into being an author just because you loved kids, right? And telling stories. That's amazing. Can you share with me which book or books are part of the Roar series?
Yeah, actually, can you still hear me? Actually, I'm very, very fortunate. I have 2 books in the vending machine. I have I'm 5, of which I wrote at a conference. Well, I was at a conference and listening, and then this idea popped in my head. And the other book is Sam and Sadie Super Sleuths, which is my latest adventure. And so I feel very, very lucky. And Sam and Sadie was supposed to be a different title. It was supposed to be Sophie and Sadie. And for some reason, I went to Sam. and they're Sherlock Holmes detectives.
Oh, interesting. Are any of these characters inspired by anybody in your life?
My children. My first book was Circus Fever with my daughter Jessica. And then my second book was On Your Mark, Get Set, Go with Justin, my son, and his 2 friends, Mario and, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. And then, and they love skateboarding. And then, and Marcus, Mario, and Justin. And then I used Julie for I'm 5, for turning 5.
Oh, my son's going to be 5 in April, so that's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
great age.
Great. They're so cute, right? That's
Yep.
why
Absolutely.
kids are cute, because they're also a handful.
Well, they think they're grown up, so.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm sure you could share lots of stories about children
Yeah.
being an educator and their very vivacious personalities. So
Yeah. But you want that.
this is true. Absolutely. Now, I want to ask, since about the I'm 5 book, since that one speaks to me a little bit. Can you tell us about this character and a little bit about their personality and a little bit about the storyline?
Well, it's Julie's 5th birthday, and she's all excited because she's having a birthday party with all her friends at her house. And a delicious looking cake with candles and everything. And everybody starts singing Happy Birthday, of which I had to get permission to put it in the book.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, because it's a trade, copyright, that type of thing. So you have to think about that when you're writing. And they all come over and they play games and they sing and do musical chairs. And then while they're cleaning up, Julie looks up at her mom and she goes, so do I go to school tomorrow? And her mom goes, no, you don't go to school tomorrow. And Julie was very puzzled and perplexed, but I'm 5. And when you turn 5, you go to school. And they had explained that it was summer. Her birthday was in the summer. And she had to wait for school to start. So it's about patience and finding ways to stay busy and see your friends and then wait for that big yellow school bus to come and get you.
Oh, that's super cute. I love
It's
that.
really cute. And my illustrator did an amazing job with Julie looking out the bus window when she finally gets on the bus with her friends. And they all pile up to the back of the bus and they all sit on the back seat together.
Oh, that's super sweet. So what does it mean for you as an author to be part of a literacy initiative like ROAR and the Golden Ticket to Literacy?
Oh, it means the world to me. I can't even put it in words with the opportunity to get books into the hands of kids, do it in a way that's exciting and fun and shareable and socializing with their peers and being able to share that experience of reading and getting them at an elementary school at that grade is so critical for them as they move on in life. And it's just been a blessing and a treat and a huge honor to be part of this.
That's incredible. I gotta ask, like, as an educator, this is totally off topic, but what have you noticed about kids and books in your experience as a teacher?
Well, I had kids that came to me at 5th grade who couldn't read. And it was a very, very interesting dynamic in my classroom. Although I taught on Little House on the Prairie a long time ago, and things were very different at that time. So I had to be creative and innovative, and I tested kids in a way where I could find out what their grade level was for readability. And I had as many as 5 to 7 reading groups in my 4th and 5th grade classrooms, so they could meet with success. You know, if you give them a book they can't read, you're going to lose them. And then other things start happening, and they don't have confidence, and they don't feel good about themselves, and they have a hard time interacting, you know, with their friends and that type of stuff. So it was critical that I placed them where they could find success. And then as they met with success, they were able to move along to more challenging books and talk about things and characters and main idea and making guesses as to what might happen, like what's going to happen, like foreshadowing and stuff like that. So I loved teaching. I loved every day I went into the classroom. It wasn't always perfect, but I loved every day I went in. And I taught 4th and 5th, and I subbed kindergarten through 5th. So I had seen the whole gambit, and it was it's just an incredible experience. And getting kids to get that confidence, whether it's reading or math or whatever, and just even being able to share their ideas. You know, because they come into your class and you don't know them. Right. And by the time they leave, we're all like crying, you know, I want to go at the end of the school year. So it was great.
That's awesome. I just wanted that like insight, because for some people, I think for teachers in particular, they're like unsung heroes. You know, you never get as much credit as they're due, and trying to navigate a classroom full of different abilities and just the nuances of it. I think it's really important for parents to understand how difficult of a job that is.
Well, that's the thing. I always had like 30 to 40 kids. In fact, one year I had 45 kids in 5th grade. We didn't have enough books, and we were sharing books, and we were pushing our desks together, and I brought with me, unbeknownst to me, my creativity that I didn't know that I had, because I like to involve the kids with things in the classroom, and if you make them feel a part of it, they're going to be engaged and stuff like that. And when sometimes in a book, a reader, there's like a play, and so we broke into groups and we did a play, and then on my own, I did plays with my kids every year. I did a play for the whole school. In my building. So, you know, I think it's really important to look at that spectrum of what reading can do for you, not just for reading for information, you know, and finding out things, but it helps your personality and helps you grow into understanding other people and understanding yourself. and gives a kind of like a ladder of success, if you will, vertically
Absolutely.
and horizontally. So that's where I came from.
I love that. That's great. What advice would you have to any aspiring writers?
An inspiring writer. I don't know if I can give advice to tell people what to do. I would say if this is something you truly believe in, you have to learn yourself how to become a writer, what you want to write, who do you want to write for, what kind of writing do you want to do. Because I taught elementary, I certainly wasn't going to teach about science and physics, that's for sure. Although we did do science. But I think it has to come from your heart. And I think if you don't have the experiences, what you want to write about, go do those experiences yourself. Just like jump right in and do it yourself. And go to the library or look online. Or I went to Barnes & Noble many times. I did a lot of mini trips to Barnes & Noble. And I would sit in the children's department and I'd look at books and I'd feel books and I would look at the pages, I'd look at the fonts, and you really have to immerse yourself 100%. And then you have to realize may not be successful right off the bat. You're going to be making changes. And I've gotten up in the middle of the night. I always kept pencil and paper by my desk, by my nightstand, because I taught, And so I'd wake up with an idea for what I was going to do in the classroom the next day. And the same thing with my writing. And I think that idea pops in your head, just write it down and then come back and revisit it and see how it helps to grow your story and your characters. And, you've got your beginning, your middle, and your end, and the arc, and that type of stuff. And again, it depends who you're writing for. If you're writing for younger kids like I am, you have to think about vocabulary and sentence structure and all that. Have an editor, have someone who can help you. I mean, just because you wrote it doesn't mean it's God's gift to the world, So you have to stay grounded. And I think the important thing is you have to feel your story. I think you have to really feel it, because if you don't feel it, it's not going to come through to the reader, the child, and or the person who's reading to them. So it has to be on a level where you can really, really feel it, where they can connect and immerse themselves with it.
That's great insight. I love that. Where can listeners find out more about you and your books?
Me and my books. Well, my website, Three Wishes Publishing Company, alvasachs.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I work with Follett Libraries, who works with schools. And basically, alvasachs.com is my site. And that's where you can find out about me. And I'm also president of Reading is Fundamental of Southern California. Well, we help to build home libraries for kids in underserved areas in Los Angeles and Orange County. And they have events, and they get 3 free books a year. And I actually fell into it, and I've been president for 15 years and on the board. So I've been doing it for a really long time, and we have events to raise money. A child who can read can feel successful at anywhere in their lives. And a lot of these kids aren't read to at home, or they don't have money and they don't have books. So anything that I can do to help promote that is where I'm at. And they could find out, Reading is Fundamental Southern California. They can get information about me and books and make donations for that. That's
awesome. I love that.
I've been doing this for a long time. I fell into it. I never wanted to do, I never thought about doing this. I think I should tell people also that, give yourself a chance. Do something that you may not be sure of. Or if you're thinking about something, you can dip your toe in the shallow water and then see what happens, and then jump in with both feet.
I think that's great, though. Absolutely. That is incredible advice. You never know till you try. That's what I always, that's my mantra every day. You never know. Yeah. It's my mantra every day.
and you really never know. It's not as if something's going to happen, but, you have to decide, if you're going to write, how you're going to get your books out there. And it's expensive to, print your books, publish your books, or hire somebody, or get onto the various sites where you can, send your manuscript and that type of stuff. And I got rejections. I sent them to publishing. I sent my first book, Circus Fever, and they love the story, but it's not a book for us at this time. So you have to be able to put on your shield of armor and know it's not you. It just may not work out the path that you want to go. So you try to find that path. For me, I read everything about self-publishing and that type of stuff. And now indie books are just all the rage and highly respected, I will say, now in the industry. And a lot of authors who were published, because the publishing industry is so difficult and because of all the celebrities who are writing books for children, it takes us little people out of the picture. Yeah. Right. And a lot of celebrities who couldn't get their books published because of the influx of who's writing, they went to indie publishing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun fact. I like that.
Fun fact. Something we can learn.
Yeah, I like that. They're writing the books too. I'm sure some of them are writing the books, but I'm always a little skeptical when everybody who is a celebrity has a children's book. I don't know about that.
Yeah. You never
anyway, know. That's a different topic for a different day. Alva, thank you so much for your time and your stories. I appreciate them. I'm so looking forward to reading I'm 5. And until next time, everybody, we hope you are having fun reading and writing.
You don't have to read between